everyone who went through my group coaching, one common thing is that they came out confident. Confident of who they are, confident of anything they can do, confident of where they're going, that nothing could put them down, that not even mental health could put them down. And so it's actually a coaching through knowing yourself, like everybody else. If you have mental health problems, it helps you to overcome. But in the end, actually you come out confident. So it is through the impact of the people I was coaching that I started calling myself a confident coach. And interestingly, actually mental health have a lot to do with the self-confident.
Yeah, true. That part. That part. So, where does Dorothy's story begin? Because I know there's a place Dorothy started from. Dorothy didn't just wake up one day and she was a confidence coach, she was an author, she was a leader, and all those things you get to do now. Of course, there's somewhere you started your story. Where is that place?
I started a story of really an insecure girl. I was so insecure that I would feel knots in my body. Wow. I would feel knots in my stomach if I went in front of people, in front of groups, or needed to speak in a group of peers. I was such an insecure person, and I actually wasn't even aware of that while growing up. Then I went through university and marriage and everything happened. When I went to Netherlands, that's where I'd like to start my story.
Okay.
Because that's where all the things that were wrong with me it's like all the skeletons came out of the closet. I never planned to move to Netherlands when I moved. So I really struggled with the moving. And Netherlands is a country where they speak a completely different language. So here I am, I was an accomplished consultant, you know, an accomplished NGO worker, I had worked in Somalia, in Sudan, Ethiopia, name it. I had worked in the Greater Horn of Africa, even as a consultant. And now I go to a place where nobody cares about me, nobody knows me, I don't understand what is going on. And I think everything went wrong. And in my book, I write about what really triggered everything. I went one day, the first day I went, I was supposed to get my papers immediately in an hour, because I was married to a Dutch guy. And that time it was very easy for you to get resident permit when you have fulfilled everything. But I ended up getting my paper the following day, just because the officer decided to change my name. My name was Dorothy Attema. Attema was the name of my husband. And we got married in Kenya. Okay. My father's name was Kamau. But this officer decided he wants to turn my name into Kamau.
Oh, wow.
And I realized, no matter how I was trying to explain to her, it was a she, that can't happen, because my Kenyan passport, which I'm going to be staying with, and my health insurance and everything is Dorothy Attema, so Dorothy Kamau doesn't exist. I realized she's not even listening to me. She's blocked me out. And that was very traumatizing, because I have left my life behind. I can't come back. And then you realize this person, then I just made conclusions, it's because I'm black, that she's treating me this way. I made my own conclusions, and that was very traumatizing. And I was just starting to realize what I had done by moving there. And that trigger brought so many things. I went into depression for 5 years.
Wow.
And my book is explaining the process of depression of a person who ended up really getting a job. I was coordinating women's work and peace work in 5 continents. I got the highest job. The Dutch people were looking at me and envying me. Kenyans were looking at me and envying me. But I was so unhappy because I was going through depression.
Wow.
And my journey is about that depression.
So your career is here.
Yes.
You are flying, you're soaring, but
married to the best person.
Marriage is working, career is working, but then you as a person,
my life is
here.
Not even here, spiraling out of control.
Wow.
Sometimes I would feel like I'm hemorrhaging inside. So yeah, so my book is about that. And then out of that trigger, I found out that I couldn't go on because it was affecting my marriage. So I looked for help. And thank God I was a member of a church. So I went into this church and I just saw a lady and she loved me. People in the church were trying to love me. I couldn't even accept the love. No, you can't accept love when you're in such a... So every time everybody tried to be good, I was asking, why are they being good?
There's always that part of you that
Why
says,
are they being good to me?
what do you want? Like,
exactly.
What do you want from me?
Sure, man, you can't believe it. When I looked back, I couldn't believe it. But this lady was persistent in reaching out to me. So I went to her and I told her the truth. And you know what was really triggering me? My marriage was failing. I was a Christian and I hated the white people. So I couldn't reconcile as a Christian. How come I have so much resentment to the white people?
Okay.
And I forgive them and I forget about it, but then it goes, I go out, the first person I meet, I'm triggered again. And when you're so negative, I was so negative, so critical, honestly, you attract all the negative people. It's like I attracted all the negative people in Netherlands. Whenever I went out, I was going to work, they were waiting for me at the bus stop, everywhere. So those negativity would trigger me and I would just get worse and worse, spiraling down. So I told her I'm a Christian. I feel resentment for the Dutch people. My marriage is failing. I need prayer. She told me, you need more than prayer. There's a program, coaching program.
That's powerful.
That is a process. And you need to go through that. And it was just a group coaching. And I was completely healed. I was able to point out what was ailing me.
Wow.
And I've never been the same. I never went to any therapy. And that's what really triggered me to write this book. The book is about my journey and about how easy it is for you to find help. And about you finding out if you have an issue with you. My book will help you to find out if you have an issue and to demystify looking for help.
Wow. So in this, I'm just in that place of, you might be looking like you're okay even in the marketplace. You might be looking, you're going out to work and you're looking like, hey, everything is working out for you, but deep inside,
spiraling.
So how did that affect the way you approached life? You see, the way you are out here, you are confident, you are doing
looking
well.
confident.
Yes, you're looking, yes, actually that is what I should use. You're looking confident and then you have a career that's high up there.
Yeah.
And then you look like uko sawa, for lack of a better explanation. How were you able to put up that facade?
So everybody who is like that, if you are listening to me, you are addicted to something. You have to be addicted to something to numb that pain.
Okay.
I was addicted to social media.
Wow.
People get addicted to drugs, to drinking, to sex. It doesn't matter what.
So social media can be an addiction.
I was addicted. And you know how? I would stop the car sometimes to chat before I continue with my journey.
So you were okay hiding behind the keyboard, but you didn't want to appear in person.
Keyboard talking to strangers about
keyboard
anything.
Warrior. We call them keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was an addiction. When I realized it was an addiction, my husband used to tell me, you're addicted, you're addicted. When you're addicted like that, you check out at home. You have a spouse, you're not with him.
Okay.
And so many people are addicted to so many things to numb that pain.
How did that affect you?
Yeah, I was a checked out person. Checked out person in terms of relationship. So I'm those kind of people you look at, but you know you can't reach me. There's something, I can't be authentic. No, because you have so much to hide. You have so much masks, so many masks, because you're worried that if people find out who you are, they will not be able to respect you, to connect with you. So you wear masks.
Have you ever found yourself in that place of wanting to belong? That sense of, that feeling of, I think it's something as I was going through the book, it's something that I picked, we talked about. Have you ever found, I just wanted to ask you as a person, have you ever gone through a phase where you felt like you needed to belong to a particular you just need to a sense of belonging.
That is so important. And guess what? It's so important. It's the basic thing. I had problems of rejection. Rejection affects how you feel belonged. Abandonment. All this victim mentality I had was from abandonment, from rejection, roots from my upbringing. And some of them are just your own things. And so those things, you always have a wrong way of how you want to belong, because that shouldn't define you.
How tell me about your journey of unlearning the things you had learned.
Oh my goodness, it's a process. It's like an onion being peeled.
Wow, okay.
Because it's a process whereby you start with the first things first. Then you realize, you think you have reached, then you realize the other things are still there. Even how I, just as a parent, how I parented was still out of all these baggages. So the first, thank God I'm a Christian, the Lord, I depended on the Lord, so the Lord knew what first to peel out. And as I went, you know, and the Lord gave me opportunities, and that's what I say actually in my coaching processes. You don't come unless you're ready to become a blessing for somebody else. Because what I did when I went through that and I started coaching, as I coach other people, I see myself in it. I continue peeling. So it's a lifelong process. That's why nobody should behave like they have arrived. It's a long. I had learned those things for tens of years. It won't go away in 1 year.
Yeah. So good you've touched on parenting, because I wanted to ask you something.
Yes.
That I feel you have touched, but we can probably still expound it more. There's a conversation I was privy to a while back. Someone was saying there are parents that parent out of fear of what they went through, that their children should not go through them, which is a very okay feeling for a parent. If they went through something, they wouldn't want their child to go through it. But then in their quest of not wanting their children to go through their experiences, they realize that it becomes, especially if they don't watch it, if they don't watch out that thought, it becomes an obsession. It becomes, they parent out of fear. They don't want, if they got pregnant in their teenage, they are busy policing their children. They don't want to see you with a boy. They don't want to see you with a girl. Did you find yourself in such a place where you didn't want your child to go through the experience?
I found myself deeper. Not even, you are so shallow the way you're explaining it. You know, if in the environments we grow up, there are 5 things that we expect: to be loved unconditionally, to be accepted unconditionally. And we find ourselves always in our community, our family, our neighborhood, our peers. So if anywhere around there you didn't get unconditional love, and you were not taught how to be a good person, a good citizen, a good parent, somehow then you get other dysfunctions we call, for me, I found out I had a codependent problem. That? What that is I was parenting and I was a wife in a way that was unhealthy, helping too much, but really looking like a very good mother, helping and everything. But I was literally dependent on them depending on me.
Okay.
So it's like a butterfly should fly, but I'm clipping its wings because I expect that person to depend on me. And I have a codependency problem. I had a codependency problem, big one. So I was over-controlling. I wanted to control everything. I wanted everything to go my way. I wanted the house to look a particular way. And nobody should touch anything. To remove a flower, I will see it.
Leave it like that.
You know, my husband, I expected him to do several things the same way, and I needed to be in control, really. But that was so deep in my insecurity. When you're so insecure, sometimes you end up being really in control. But my issue was that I was really, it's a codependency thing.
Wow.
Yeah, taking too much care.
You want to over care, to over love, to over
but it's really my need. It's not,
Yeah,
I'm,
it's
I'm
not
pretending
their
them. No, it's my need.
It's okay, I get it. I've met someone like that. Someone who looks like they love you, but then if you're not there, it's
A
like
big
they're
problem.
crippled.
It's
Yes.
like they should not be independent. If they're independent, I have a problem with that.
Yes.
I want to care for the, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You
So
understand?
did some of these things, of course, catch up with you in your workplace? You were doing well career-wise. Did some of these habits have a way of protruding in your workplace?
So I want you to imagine this. I was in a field where I was the only African.
Wow.
So definitely people would look at you in a certain way. And then I have all these resentments. I have all this anger, uncontrollable anger. So I became aggressive, really. My colleagues, I was the worst colleague. I really feel sorry. So I still look for some of my colleagues to say sorry. Because like they were walking around me like on eggshells.
Yeah.
Because anytime I think
You're
you're
a
looking at
time-ticking
me,
bomb.
I'm a time-ticking bomb. I became the savior of the whole of Africa and anybody who is African.
Wow.
So if you said anything African, it has nothing to do with me or your, and I would interpret it in whichever way I need to interpret it. So people had to be careful around me what they say about Africans or Africa, because I would lash out at them. So whatever they say, it's at this level. At this level, instead of combating it at the same level.
You're here. Wow.
I was not a good, and yet I worked there. They were, you know, in Europe, once you have a permanent job, nobody can get rid of you. So I worked in it until I was tired. They couldn't get rid of me because I was working so hard. You know how Kenyans we work hard.
Yeah.
Kenyans, we are good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Wow.
We're good.
I'm being told our time is up, but we have like less than 5 minutes.
Okay.
In this less than 5 minutes, I'd want you to talk to us, especially, particularly because our focus is young people, and we have so many young people going through so much mental issues, no jobs, unemployment, insecurity, crime. We saw the other day the Gen Zs stage out this huge massive demonstration. Like I'm still not yet over it, but then that just goes to say that the young people have a message they're trying to pass, and they're very tired, and in being tired, some people get overwhelmed mentally by issues they grew up with, like you, or issues they have gotten to encounter along the way. So I would really want you to touch on something to do with mental health.
So if you have uncontrollable anger, if you feel insecure, if you by any chance can't forgive, thanks you said that, if you by any chance, and especially in this country, I remember if you look just at somebody and you feel, I wish I could kill them, just such a thought, you have a mental health issue. If you don't have joy, you know, one of the triggers I tell people that I wish somebody told me is that I went on and on and on without joy, real joy. All of us know joy. Even if you're living in Korogocho, I've worked in Korogocho in Mathare, people have joy. So for me, my biggest question was, how can I be in Europe and not have joy?
Okay.
You know, if you don't have joy, you could have something. Let me say something to the young people. I think I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of what happened. I'm so proud that they're voicing out things that have really bedeviled us, like tribeless. I don't know what, those especially that. Because for me, my triggers, some of it was because of being brought up in a tribal society.
Okay.
It can affect you. But the young people are 70% of this country. And young people, you should know that it is okay not to be okay. I hear people saying that, but it is okay not to be okay. But please demystify looking for help. Look for help. Man, you can look for anything. You guys online, you're champions online. Look for help. If you're addicted to anything, it means you have a mental health issue. If you're addicted to anything, it does not matter what, whether it's masturbation, pornography, smoking, drinking, even anger can be an addiction. You know, if you're addicted to anything, you are not okay mentally. And you know what? If you're not okay mentally, it will affect your destiny. It will affect how you see yourself. It will affect how you see other people. It will affect how you see your world. And you people, the sky is the limit. Let me tell you, where I live, last year, the people who died are more than the people who were born.
Wow.
What does that mean? Elsewhere in the world, the populations are going down. Who are they waiting for? For you people. Make sure you're okay mentally, so that when doors open, whenever they open, you're ready to go there.
I already feel like you've given us a parting shot. Where can we get your books?
My book, you can get it at Nuria.
Okay.
Anytime. Nuria is good at, it can bring the book wherever you are in this country.
Okay.
Yes.
So what was Attema? They don't have an opportunity to get this amazing. I have gone through it in less than 10 minutes, and I can tell you the wisdom in this book. Oh, yeah. Hey. Let me read you something that actually got me to thinking. I think I even actually noted the page, so I was very fast to open it. It's a place, that's where I think we will finish this conversation at. It's 3 steps to forgiveness, that's the chapter. And then there is this page that says, that's on step 1. Take a good look at the way you are living and reorder your life. I've read that, and have you seen the way something just jumps out of a book and you're like, okay, take a good look at her. Okay, fine. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your time. Thank you for speaking to us. I know the time was short, but it's okay. We've had time to at least talk about the most important things.
Yes.
We're very glad you came.
I'm so honored. Really honored. Yes.
But you can let us know where I can find you on social media.
Yes, I'm on Facebook.
You can use that camera.
I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm on LinkedIn.
As
Dorothy Attema.
Okay.
Yes.
In Kenya, tukimaliza show lazima we give people an opportunity to say hi. Lazima utume salamu. You're a Kenyan, at least. You're a Kenyan, at least you know that part.
Salam to my mother. She's in Karen, in an old people's home. She's not, she has to be taken care of. Salamus to all the Daystar people. I'm a Daystar person. Salam to all the Faulu group, pioneer groups. We were among the pioneer groups of Faulu. And salamus to I Speak. I'm partnering with I Speak Society.
Yes.
They were so instrumental in my book launch. And my desire was to be really to come and be able to talk to the youth. And they made it happen.
Amazing.
And I'm
Thank you
so glad for that.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
We can wrap up?
Yes.
All right. That was Dorothy Attema. I have told you, take a good look at the way you're living and reorder your life. I mean, you can't live as a victim all the time. You need to wake up, forgive people, move on with life. Things happen, they offended you, it's okay, they're not here. You have power over how you react to issues, and she has put it very well. Demystify the truth. Be comfortable with having difficult conversations, and then be comfortable with not being okay. It's all right not to be okay. That's it from us here at Y254 TV. Let me say you can also follow I Speak on their social media handles, also at Benny Walubengo and at Double B Consultancy. That's where we're wrapping up this entire conversation. My name is Grace Mindy. Do have a lovely day. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.